that I think could really impact our program. Thankful that he saw the value in that, and think he's going to have a tremendous impact with just the young people. Having a guy who played here that has tremendous passion for this university, and he's a lot like a lot of the kids that we recruit. He probably didn't grow up a Clemson fan, but certainly became one as he came here and realizes that Clemson changed his life. Not just the basketball, but the educational opportunity and from the folks that he met here. And so we certainly want guys like that around our program. He's an unbelievably humble guy. He's a very genuine person, and he certainly was an outstanding player. So it doesn't take long for him to earn credibility with your players. But his life messages are really good. His ability to communicate with players. When we're fussing at him about certain things, it's nothing that he hasn't heard as a player. And so for him to be able to go there behind the scenes and talk to a guy that's struggling a little bit with certain things to make them understand it, I think that helps as well. Coach Dean is he's going to do a good job for us. He's got big shoes to fill. Mike Winecki was a really good coach for us and did a lot of really good things. But Coach Dean will help in a lot of the same ways. Both guys were unbelievable at working with post players, and Coach Dean's going to do that. He's an outstanding player at Rhode Island. He was really a blue-collar kind of guy. He's a guy that got the most out of his ability, so he's a detail guy, which I'm really big on, coaching the details of the position. He's unbelievably excited about the opportunity to be at a Power 5 school, and certainly to be back in the South at a place like Clemson. Having been being from Atlanta, growing up there, having a little bit more recruiting ties to the South, I think that's where he's going to help us even more, is to just give us another guy that has strong ties in an area with a lot of players. And I'm really excited about what he's been able to bring to our staff. I think he's going to be a really nice addition.
You have some new faces, and I've already heard the name of Amir Sims, true power forward. What are you seeing out of these new guys?
Well, we've got, we really have almost, if you really look at our team, we almost have 7 guys that really didn't play much at all or any. Obviously, you can look at the 4 freshmen, David Scar, who sat out, Mark Donnell, the transfer from Michigan, and then Scott Spencer, who really had back surgery and was out most of last year. So we've almost got like 5 guys that are experienced players and good players. Then we got 7 guys that we're all trying to figure out. And we like the new guys that we have. When you think about that 7, we think that Amir Sims is, he's one of the most talented big players that we've recruited here. There's no question the new facility was a major impact in his recruitment and helped us beat off a lot of ACC schools to get him. Because he's physically so strong, I think he's able to absorb a little bit more mentally, because he's not as worried about surviving physically in a difficult position. So day in and day out, he doesn't come in beat up and like just trying to lick his wounds and survive. He's a guy that can handle the physicality of the position, but then also still play with enough poise and maturity to be able to do other things and to learn what we're trying to teach him and apply the drills to games. So really excited about Amir.
How does this team's identity change following the loss of a player like Jaron Blossom here?
Well, I don't know that like the identity in terms of how we play on the court will change as much. I just think it gives opportunities for other players. And I think that sometimes we all forget. I mean, that's one of the best things about coaching, is watching the development of players and assisting in their development and watching them grow through their careers. Sometimes I have to remind everybody, KJ McDaniel and Jerron Blossom game, 2 all-ACC players, were role players as freshmen. And I think KJ played 9 minutes a game. Jerron was like a 4-point scorer. I mean, they weren't guys that you looked at and thought, I don't think anybody thought after their freshman year, wow, this guy's going to be first team All-ACC. And so what I think the loss of a Jerron Blossom game, and even Avery Holmes and Sidney Jate, 3 good seniors, does is it creates opportunities for other guys. And so now the Dante Grantham's going to get a little bit more of a chance to emerge, have more plays run for him. Gabe DeVoe, as senior, is going to have opportunities to do more things. The ball will be in his hands a little bit more to do more. Shelton and Marquise certainly, I think, will build upon what was a very good first year for them. And then the guy inside is going to be Elijah Thomas. I mean, I like to throw the ball inside. I think you need interior scoring, and I'll do it with any position, whether it's KJ McDaniel at the wing or Jerron Blossom game at the power forward spot, or now Elijah Thomas at the 5. And he's going to get more low post touches. He's going to get more opportunities to shine. And we're certainly working with him to build his consistency day to day.
Has Dante kind of rediscovered that outside consistency, that touch?
Yeah,
That he seemed to lack
I
this
think
year?
he just went through a little spurt there where he lost confidence, and it happens in sports, and it's probably the most difficult thing to coach. And you see it in all sports in a variety of ways, whether it's a 3-foot putt, a field goal, a jump shot, whatever it may be. Sometimes, we have a quote in our locker room: "The mental is to physical is 4:1," and that's never more evident when guys are struggling mentally. And Dante's a very good player. I think sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for all the other things he does. He's 6'8", and he's out there on the perimeter dribbling the ball like a guard and passing the ball. He's one of our best passers, relieving pressure. Now there's no question he struggled with his shot, and yesterday he made 6 threes in a scrimmage. So I do think he's more confident, more comfortable. He knows he's going to take more. He knows we're counting on him to do more. But he's a different kind of player. I don't know that he's the kind of guy that he doesn't play like Jerron, where he's always going to kind of demand the ball and try to do all these things to score. We have a lot of guys that can score, and so I don't know that he's going to be a 17-point scorer. He may or may not be, but he certainly is going to be a guy that I think plays at a high level.
You have 3 really good cats back in that backcourt with Shelton, Gabe, and Marquise.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out of them developmentally wise, and what do you expect out of them this year?
I don't think that they have to change much. I'd like to see Shelton, stay healthy, which is not going to be easy considering he's a guy that's had multiple knee surgeries. And so we're going to have to really monitor his minutes and his practice time. And, we're already doing that. He played 4 minutes in Spain. He can't practice every day. It's something we have to deal with. Having said that, I think offensively he's a really talented player. He's a guy that's worked unbelievably hard on his shooting and has become a very good shooter. We're trying to get him to continue to work to have a bigger impact defensively, and I think that's something that he's got to focus on. It's really the only area that I need him to be a little bit better. I think Marquise is just a little bit more vocal, a little bit better understanding of overall fundamentals, and he's doing a better job of distributing, of finding other players, of creating for others, and not just being a shot maker. And because he's something he can do. Certainly working on his 3-point shot in terms of his ability to get it off a little bit quicker. Wouldn't even mind him taking a few more, missing a few, just to kind of get him to shoot more, because he can shoot a very good percentage. And it sets up everything else he does. And then Gabe DeVoe is just kind of a guy that he can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot some threes. He's a big, strong, physical driver to the basket. He plays with good range. Just getting him to slow down and relax, and he's going to have a good year too. He's a guy that really has put in the time, comes in early every day, wants to do well. He's a guy that I think as a senior is poised to have a very good year.
You got some big non-conference games early at Ohio State, Florida. How much does that kind of add to the excitement level and the sense of urgency for this team?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I don't think we look down the road too much right now. I think this year we're all, not really just this year, but this time of year we're more just worried about what we're trying to do, and guys are just trying to fit in and find out what our role is. Schematically, we're changing a few things and trying to find out what's the best way to play. The one unique thing that is a little bit challenging is because of our post players, they're all a little bit different, and so finding out the best way to play with different lineups in the game is a little bit different. If Dante's at the 4 spot, he's a little bit kind of a different four man than Amir and Malik, and if Mark Donnell's in there and Eli's out, he's a little different 5-man than Eli, and so I think that's a big challenge for us offensively, is finding ways to be successful with offense and having to change a few things with the different people that we have at different personnel situations.
Clyde Trout is a guy that can maybe come in and provide some depth in the backcourt. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's a high energy guy that I think has great length. He still has a bit to learn, especially on the defensive end. He's a guy that I think can add depth, especially if we pick up full court a little bit more, which we haven't done in the last year or two. Just haven't felt like we've had quite as many bodies to do it. I think you really need bodies if you're going to do it every game, all year, and it's going to be a staple of what you do. and we kind of feel like we have a chance to do that. We did that a few times earlier in our career here, and maybe one other year in the middle. The last couple of years we haven't been able to do that, but I think we're going to try to go back to that, and so that may give him opportunity to work the ball and just add depth. I'm excited about that. A.J. Oliver's another freshman that I think, really good motor, moves extremely well, all around the court, can shoot on the move, has good length, and has the benefit of being here 6 months earlier, having been like a football gray shirt, if you will. I think that was something that has helped him in that he's put on 12 to 15 pounds, has a little bit better understanding because he came here in January, and feels a little bit more comfortable now than he was last year.